Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have been a long-time subscriber, welcome back. I know I've been gone for a long time. If you're new here, thank you so much for finding me. My name is Reagan. I am now a junior at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and I wanted to make a video that basically summed up everything I've learned in the past year because it's been a year since I last signed on to this account. And I apologize, but hopefully that doesn't happen again. It's true what they say about 19 being really humbling because every month was new character development. But the great news is I'm going to turn it into content. So make lemons. What? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Don't make lemons out of lemonade. It doesn't work that way. So yeah, I wanted to make this video 20 minutes of advice at 20 because 19 was a lot. Like I said, if you're watching this being like 15, 16, 17, 18, I am so sorry to tell you that it actually gets worse. It gets a lot worse. Don't let you be in college. Your sophomore year of college is really rough. But I just want to talk to you guys. If I sound like a chronic smoker, I promise you I'm not. I think I'm just dehydrated. I will keep you guys updated on that, but ignore that for the rest of the video because I'm just going to be yapping a lot. So I just wanted to go through my notes and talk about my 20 minutes of advice now that I am 20 years old. So yeah, my first piece of advice is cut your hair. This is particularly for my black girls out there. Cut your hair, cut your hair, cut your hair. Health over length, and then just like chop it off. So I actually cut my hair for my 20th birthday. My birthday gift to myself was cutting it into a bob. My ponytail used to be a little more voluminous. Is that how you say that? Voluminous? Voluminous? Yeah. My ponytail is now smaller than it was because I decided to cut it, and I just remember like building it up for a really long time. Like I'd be like, oh my gosh, when I turn 20, I'm gonna cut my hair. Like I want something that says grown and sexy. Like this is me entering my auntie era, like all the things. And then I finally let my friend talk me into it. She was like, yeah, just do it. Like just cut it into like a long bob, something that you can cut shorter if you really want to commit to the short hair lifestyle, but also nothing like, you know, don't pixie cut it your first time because you can always cut it shorter, but it takes some time for it to grow back. And that was what I did, and it's honestly the best thing I could have ever did. I love my hair so much more now. I had dyed my hair by myself, so it was like 5 different colors. It cut off a lot of the color, even though I think I'm gonna dye it again, so that might not be relevant, but I just have really been enjoying like the root color lately. It really revives your curls if you have curly hair, and it's just so fun. I think I was just really holding on to like a lot of, like it was like here, but like here to here could have arguably been like dead ends, you know what I mean? Like it was just one of those like limp, flaccid hair situations. My advice is to cut your hair because especially I know in my family a lot of people acted like fake heartbroken when I broke my hair, and I was like first of all, like this is my head, this is my hair, like let's be so for real. And so I know like especially in black culture, like us women can be a little indoctrinated to associate the length of our hair with how pretty we are, and that's just not true. That's not true at all. So I feel like it's just a good brain rewiring to go ahead and cut your hair, because even I would show people a picture of my hairs now and I would almost feel myself having to explain like, oh, I just cut it, and I would stop myself and I'd be like, why do I feel the need to tell someone that my hair used to be longer? Why do I feel like I have to prove that to someone? And I was like, I don't actually. I could be bald and just leave it there. Like just let people take it at face value. And once I realized that I kind of had some of that rewiring in my head, I was like, wait a minute, like this is something I need to work on. So I recommend at least once in your life, I definitely plan on doing it again, but cut your hair a significant amount and just see how you react and see the type of people you attract and all of that stuff, because it's really interesting to see. It's a cool little social experiment, and then it just feels so good, and it's good for your hair. So my first piece of advice at 20 is to cut your hair. My next piece of advice, I don't have my glasses on, I'm sorry if it just looks like I'm dissociating. My next piece of advice is if you're confused, it's a no. We can just sit with that one for a little bit. That one's really personal to me. If you're confused, it's a no. I'm saying this in the context of boys, but it's actually pretty widely applicable. So in the past year, we've kind of lost our way as a species and invented the situationship. And I was a victim. Let me save you. If a guy is confusing you, he doesn't like you, because if he liked you, you wouldn't have to doubt it for a second. When there's, like, I had to learn that a guy will never just come out and say he doesn't like you. What he's gonna do is be like, oh, I've just been really busy. My life is so hard. I'm just worried about stacking my money right now. I just miss my grandma. Like, if you're a victim of any of those phrases, like, you deserve compensation immediately. And I totally get it. So I just want to say, if you're confused, it's a no. Sometimes you just got to stand up, stand on business. That is what allowed me to walk away alive, is because you just have to be able to stand on business. Don't waste your time. You accept the love you think you deserve, and you deserve better than that. And you know what I'm talking about. So my next piece of advice is, if you're confused, it's a no. And that can apply to a lot of things. Like, if you're confused about someone, if you're the confuser confusing someone else, you probably don't like them. It's okay to admit that you just like having somebody around, you know, and that you don't really see yourself being with them, marrying them. That's okay. You just gotta let them know. You gotta tell them. You just gotta let them know. My next piece of advice is nobody cares. Nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares. And you know why? Because everybody is worried about doing their own thing. And something that when I first really internalized this, it felt a little like hurtful. Like, it was a little depressing. But I had to realize, like, this is actually really joyous, exciting, liberating news. And you know what? It means that I can do whatever I want. And especially when I'm talking about, like, content creation and having a YouTube channel, and I was so worried about, like, oh my god, all my friends are gonna make fun of me, everybody at UNC is hating on me right now. No, they're not. Like, they are worried about graduating, and the world just keeps spinning, you know? So don't let your fear of being perceived stop you from pursuing your dreams. Was that a bar? That might have been a bar. Don't let your fear of others stop you from being you. Everybody's worried about their own thing. Like, come on. Just, the world is so much bigger than you. And let that be good news. Don't let that bruise your ego. Don't let it hurt your pride. Just take that and allow it to be freeing. Because once I really realized that, it freed up a lot of my social anxiety, especially around content creating, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. I promise you, nobody cares. And if they do, that means you're doing good. It's a win-win. Net zero. It's fine. My next piece of advice is, money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy the freedom to be happy. That might be my opinion. I low-key think money does buy happiness, but I added this caveat that it gives you the freedom to buy happiness, because, and this is kind of a common sense thing, but it's like, once you realize, like, oh wow, the moment I'm not worried about groceries, keeping a roof over my head, like paying bills, life is just so much more fun. And I'm giving this from a very privileged standpoint. I'm not working my way through college. But for example, right now, I'm in another country. I'm actually in Fort-de-France, Martinique, in the French Antilles right now. And I'm realizing, I'm like, wow, like, traveling is so fun when it's not like putting you in debt, you know? And that sounds simple or whatever. But you just realize, it's like, money might not actually be the reason that you're happy, but it clears so many obstacles and just opens the avenue to allowing you to focus on the things that do make you happy. And I say this both as like a, dang, like, money really does make the world go round, and also just as like a bit of a motivation. Like, I'm in college right now. This is what's gonna help me pursue my dreams and not like drop out, because I know I like nice things, and I know that money is going to, and that stability that comes with it, is going to allow me to do things that I love, like travel and read for fun, and just do like random stuff like that. And so something I learned, obviously, don't ask me how taxes work. I don't know what a 401k is. I don't know about that side. But I do know that having a little bit of money in your belt, as we all know, is really going to allow you to do what makes you happy. And it's a shame that not everybody gets to do that. And so I'm telling you now that if you have the opportunity and you want to make those opportunities, do it now so you have time to do what makes you happy. You got to work hard and play hard. That's really what the underlying advice is right there. There's like layers. The next piece of advice is friendship and romance fulfill different parts of your spirit, and it's okay to yearn for both. So this is kind of like, you know how people will, everyone has that friend that's like in a long-term relationship of like 5 years, and they're just kind of like, oh, like it'll come when you least expect it. You just gotta love yourself. Oh, it's okay, because at least you have your friends and da-da-da. Yes, that is all true. Hurt people. It is true that you should heal first. That is very true. But it's also okay to sit back and be like, oh, okay, I feel like I am ready for a relationship, and it's okay to yearn for that. It's totally okay, especially when you're young, and especially if you feel like you need a ring by spring. Don't rush it, but it's okay to feel like, dang, like I feel like I have everything going for me, but like a romantic partner, and that's okay. Don't go despairing and being desperate for it, but it's okay to acknowledge that that's something that you want. That's okay. You can be honest with yourself. And friendships and sisterhood and brotherhood and familial relationships are of the utmost importance, but it is like okay and probably needed to admit that that's not going to replace a romantic soulmate. They're not your man, and they'll tell you that. So it's like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, it's okay to want both. In that case, it's okay to want your cake and eat it too. And so I'm saying that just to like, don't have any guilt surrounding the fact that maybe you're single and don't want to be. That's fine. Like, just take the time to enjoy yourself. And I know everyone's like, just focus on yourself, like just heal. Yes, you can do it, but it's okay. Like, it's okay to admit to yourself to that, yes, this, like, having a family one day and having a partner is important to me. Don't beat yourself up about that. And that's my next piece of advice. Coming up next is kind of related to that, is different friends for different purposes. Especially if you're like, and this kind of like falls into that, if you find yourself really clinging on to your friends while you're single and kind of falling into like a codependency thing, realize that like they didn't sign up to be your romantic partner, and that is okay, and that doesn't make you like a bad person. It doesn't make them a bad person. You guys are just there for a season. Like, everyone in your life is there for like a reason, a season, a lesson. Like, they each have specific roles in your life, and that's okay. So for example, if you have going out friends that you probably couldn't like tell a secret to, that's okay. If you have like study friends that you probably wouldn't see outside of class, that's okay. If you have one or two friends that you can tell everything to, but maybe you don't see each other that often, that's okay. And that's what friends are for. And so I think, especially with media, like, we're convinced that like you have to have one diehard best friend to where you guys are basically dating and like under each other's hip all the time. And I think that's wonderful if it works. But realistically, you have to realize that everyone has their own lives, kind of like how I was saying. And it is totally okay to allow people to fulfill different roles in your life, and then you just kind of pull from each one of them, because then you get to serve that same role, and then we just become this wonderful mosaic of people we love. I got that from somewhere, and you probably know. Don't cling to people so hard that you push them away. Like, just allow people to be there in the capacity that they're willing to be in. And that's okay. And then they'll give you that same amount of grace. So different friends for different purposes. And then, yeah. And it's awesome. And maybe you probably will find a couple of best friends that fulfill all of those hats for you. And that's wonderful. But just make sure that you're like having breadth and depth in your friendships, because you never know when you might need someone who has that connection or is always available for this thing, or, you know, just like branch out. Just branch out. That's really what I'm saying. Branch out. Don't cling on to like a couple people. Just enjoy everything that friendship has to offer with everyone. And my last piece of advice, you should actually eat. Food is actually important. Newsflash, eat. Like, just eat. Just eat. just eat. Especially in summer, I feel like it's so easy. And for some reason, there's this resurgence of like almost like eating disorder culture and just like skinny culture with like Ozempic and like skinny being back in. Some people say it's never been out. Like it is the conventional beauty standard, but like I just see this really aggressive push of like 1 meal a day diets and like calorie counting. And if you're doing that to reach a goal, that is okay within reason, but don't just, you need to eat. You need to eat. You need to eat. Get up and eat right now, actually. Please eat while you're watching my videos. And it's like, I don't know where this resurgence comes from. I think it's actually one of the 4 dark horsemen of like the recession apocalypse. That's another video. But it's like, don't let social media lead you down a rabbit hole of having a bad relationship with food. I know how awful it can be, and I know it's way easier said than done. But like, I'm just here to remind you that like, it's okay to fuel your body. As a biology major, you need it. You need to generate energy for your cells to function. And when you starve your body like that, it gets so ugly so fast. So this is me telling you that you need to eat all your fruits and vegetables and drink lots of water, and that you are beautiful how you are. I just really felt compelled to say that because every 5th or 6th TikTok, a dark corner of TikTok talking about like really not okay relationships with food. And I don't want you to fall into that because it's easy to do. So don't do that to yourself. Don't die. You're so sexy. That is my 20 minutes of advice at 20. Obviously, I don't claim to be all knowledgeable or whatever, but I am here to say that 19 was really hard. And hopefully yours can be a little easier. I guess these are all the things I wish I knew like a year ago, because it would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of pain and a lot of interesting character development moments. But that's how you learn, because I know I still feel like a baby. The older I get, the younger I feel, and you guys will realize that too. Anyone older than me watching this will completely understand that. You guys will see more of me, I promise. Thank you guys for holding it down during my not so quick hiatus. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos because they're coming. I promise. Also, if you have any questions, anything you want me to talk about, if you enjoy me running my mouth for 20 minutes, if you're like, oh yeah, this is what I want to subscribe for, let me know. If it's not and you're just like, please shut up and just turn the camera around and show me where you are right now, that is okay too. You can let me know. Maybe be nice about it because I'm sensitive. But yeah, love ya.